welcome to another edition of Check This Out. On this edition, we got Josh. Say what's up, Josh.
Hey guys, don't mind my dog in the back.
Hell yeah, special appearance. Yeah, we're going down the episodes of Heels. We're going to be doing episode 3 and 4 of season 1. This is season 2 of Check This Out. And yeah, let's get right into it. Crazy stuff happened last episode. Let's see. Charlie's basically trying to take the dome from the Duffy Wrestling League because he hates Jack for saying the shit that he said, and he's in that whole situation there. Ace is out here still trying to battle with being turned into heel and not wanting to be heel and all this other stuff. So yeah, going into this episode, the synopsis is: in the event to drum up more heat for WL, Jack enlists the help of popular wrestling veteran Ricky Rabies, aka CM Punk. He intends to set up Ace with a full house for his comeback in the main event with newcomer Bobby Pin. Meanwhile, Rooster Rollins is questioning whether his worth in the DWL with a championship belt, and so is Jack's wife, Stacy, who wants to get away from all of it, from all the wrestling drama. After the DWL fans reject Ace's attempt to rehabilitate his character, he finally agrees to turn heel. So the episode opens up with a crazy, pretty graphic, not graphic, but just pretty like
A hard thing
to watch. Yeah. And the way that they set it up, it's basically Tom Spade's suicide. How they kind of set it up, how they made it seem. Dude was just running through. It looks like he was going through his regular day-to-day stuff.
Yeah,
right.
he was working out. He mowed the lawn. Saw his wife's garden thing. But it's crazy how they showed us that in the beginning, because that almost like I think halfway through the episode or the end of the episode. Yeah. Jack becomes an asshole and tells Ace, which we'll get to it a little bit later on.
Yeah. No, that's a good memory right that one. They did this thing where he, like Josh was saying, he goes home, he finally reaches home, and he sees that there's like a deer eating his wife's vegetables. And he goes straight into his house, and it looked like he was gonna get the gun to shoot the deer away. But he literally just goes to the front porch and like puts the gun under his head and blows himself away. Ace is the person that's there at home, and that's who he finds. That's the person who finds him is the youngest brother there, the son, I mean. And that kind of makes more sense on why like Ace is so amped to be face, because his dad was the face. So interesting, crazy fucking scene. The next scene is literally a titty bar where the rookie works at as a bouncer. That was pretty funny.
Bobby Pin. He's talking on his phone. I guess he's leaving a message for his parents.
Yeah.
He's all excited that he's in the main event. And you just see some girl slap some other girl's butt. And the girl's like, "Hey, man, can't you see what?" She's like, "Oh, I'm sorry." He's like, "Sorry, ma'am. You can't be doing this."
Yeah.
Like, if even you apologize, I got to kick you out.
It was funny because I forgot that scene, that it was a woman that actually got basically kicked out of the fucking titty bar. That was pretty funny.
Yeah.
CM Punk's character is introduced while he's taking a shit. That was another pretty funny part right there.
Funny.
And
his name is funny.
His Ricky Rabies.
Yep.
An interesting character. He's definitely completely different from what he is in the WWE and in his professional wrestling career. Ace needs to embrace a damn heel move. He's setting himself up for failure is what I put down. That's when basically the crowd turned on him. Jack trying to keep Ace home. The crowd is looking small. Jack has a meeting with his investor. The guy's a preacher / car salesman. That's I want to say it's a pretty common thing that's out there, where it's like they're either a salesman of some type and a preacher. Yeah. Let's see here. What else do we got? Rooster definitely being overlooked. Later on in the series, yeah, that basically the rooster comes home to roost. That's for sure. Ace is such a fucking baby. He wants all the spotlight, can't accept not being the center of attention. Stacy is hanging out with her friends, and I wrote that they all seem uptight.
Yeah.
But when the waiter came through and started talking about the wrestling show, and they were all ready for it, I was like, all right, they're open minded. All right, not too bad. Fucking later on in the episode, Rooster is pissed off and he's just crashing out in the back, like not trying to be friendly at all, and just like being an asshole a little bit. Ace coming out to booze. Stacy's friends are loving it. The crowds aren't buying what Ace is trying to sell. The lady starts heckling him, and then sets up Jack to set up Ace's heel turn, but Ace doesn't want to do it, but doesn't like being booed. Crystal begging Ace to cheer up. Oh, banging. That's right. Crystal banging Ace to cheer him up. That was pretty funny.
Yeah.
CM Punk was a wild guy wrestler. As a wild guy wrestler works, like he kind of looks like a wild guy.
Yeah.
So it kind of like set up his whole thing.
Like one of those people that live like in the woods.
Exactly, like a crazy fucking mountain man.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, Wild Bill crashing out on the airplane going viral. You don't necessarily get to see what exactly that's about until next episode.
But yeah, you have all the wrestlers like, oh, did you see Wild Bill?
Yeah. Willie knows Jack set up Ace with the tissue paper that people started throwing at him. Crystal realizes that she doesn't want to be a valet, and Bill shows up at Willie's for help, and that's how basically episode 3 ends. Anything that stood out for you in the episode there in number 3?
Well, so there's a few things. So like Bobby Pins is kind of happy that he's in the main event, but he doesn't know why he got chosen. And Ace and Jack tells Rooster, because they have they talk, because Rooster's kind of bitter that he's not in the main event.
Yeah.
And he's overlooked and everything. And Diego and Apocalypse talks to tell him, you know what, just go talk to Jack about it. He's a stand-up dude. He's busy, but set up with Willie. She's his right man and everything. And I guess when they do talk, he finds out, Jack tells him, you have raw talent, you're the best guy on my roster, but you get the championship when the story fits.
Yeah.
And the reason he chose Bobby is because Bobby's a new guy. He does whatever he wants. He's a yes sir man, basically.
Yeah.
He's a rookie, so he'll do whatever for the company.
Yeah. He can basically set him up to just be a jobber. It's a perfect guy to lose. And he's trying to set up Ace so that Ace wants to stay at DWL. That's what I kind of feel as is happening there for sure.
Yeah, then the whole thing with the investors, the Christian investors, it's just kind of funny because he comes in like, hey, where's my banner of this Bible quote?
Oh my god.
And Jack's like, we'll get on it right now. It's a mistake. And then I guess Jack tells him, what if we put like all your what's it called, Bible verses on the ring side of the ring? And Willie's like, oh crap, Jesus Christ, we'll like that. That made me laugh. And then I guess when they introduce like I said, CM Punk, aka Ricky Rabies, his valet kind of teaches Crystal what to be a valet. Really means like always being there for him, showing him this and that.
Right.
Which at first she takes, like, okay, like I have to do this and all that.
Yeah.
And to make him feel better, she goes bang him in the laundry room.
Yeah, that was funny. But then something interesting happens at the end of that.
Yeah, we'll get to that in a bit. What else did I find interesting? Let me see my notes. Besides, so like we said in the beginning, it opens up with their dad doing his normal stuff, and then what happens. And let's see what I have right here. Oh yeah, so since Ace kind of feels like he has to get the people back, but Jack already knows that's not gonna happen because he cried, and they're gonna make fun of him no matter what.
Right.
So before he goes back to talk to the other wrestlers, Ace is like kind of like iffy about it, but the other wrestlers are having fun because they have this prank when you become a main event. They give you a Smirnoff Ice.
Yeah, I forgot about that part.
Main event ice, so we have to take a knee and chug it. So they give it to Bobby Pins. Bobby Pins is like, oh, okay, cool.
Yeah.
He does it. and he kind of chokes when he's doing it, and they laugh. And then when Ace comes in, they're like, "Oh, here you go, men event ice." And then I like Bobby's character a lot. He's my favorite character. He's like, "Oh, you gotta get on your knee. You better not mess up, cause I did."
Yeah.
And that was what I like about him, because he tries to make Rooster feel better, but it goes
Yeah.
wrong in the beginning because he puts an ice inside the urinal, and Rooster's taking a piss, and he's like, "What the hell?" And then Bobby's like, "You've been ice." That made
Yeah.
me laugh. But it's cool that she said dynamic and everything, with Bobby still learning because he's fresh. And then Rooster, I like that he has a heart to heart with Ace,
Right.
telling him that, I've worked at all of these places. I never won the championship, but he thought with Jack it'll be different. But in the world, the title belt looks better with a sheet of white, he says.
Oh yeah.
And then I guess Ace is like, "Yeah, but I don't want to be heel." But Rooster tells him, "But you cried."
Yeah.
You tell him you cried on the ring. He's not making fun of him. He's telling him, but he told him that whatever your brother does, he's right. You're better as heel, because you as a face, it's not working.
And it's interesting. I think something that happens later on. Um, I think I'll save that for the episode 4. But with as far as Crystal's concerned, she realizes that Ricky Rabies' valet isn't his partner, and she thought that they were together. She was just the valet, and he's married outside of this. And that kind of like set in for her, and that's when she kind of like turned a little bit and just kind of starts to like do her own thing, especially after the heel turn that happened.
Yeah, and well, so going to that, I guess she's trying to calm Ace down. Ace kind of tells her, "Why are you doing this? You're not my girlfriend.
Yeah, get the
You're
fuck
just
away
my
from me, not my
valet."
girlfriend.
Yeah, yeah. And Jack tries to reprimand him for that, like, "Why are you saying that?" But Ace is just pissed off because he's a heel. He's like, "If I won't be a heel, I won't be a heel 24/7."
Yeah.
And what I think that sent him over the edge to becoming a heel was when him and Jack were kind of fighting in the back because his promo didn't go good.
Mm-hmm.
And he tells them, "I'm a face. Dad was a face. You're a heel." And there's the line that kind of set him over when Jack says, "If Dad was such a face, when he shot himself, he knew you were home."
Ooh. Ooh.
Yeah. No, he did it on purpose, knowing that you were at home. Which kind of set, like, I would say, Ace in this journey of wrestling.
Yeah.
Kind of, getting his father's steps.
No, 100%. I forgot about that part. Yeah, that was pretty rough. He also kind of went at Willie for like kind of trying to stand up for Crystal when he was going in. Interesting way to kind of cap off that episode there.
Oh, and one more thing we missed.
What's up?
There's an argument between Jack and his wife on the way home, because she sees all her friends that do this, but she hasn't done anything. And she tells Jack, "Oh, when have you heard? I think it's Machu Picchu.
Yeah,
it's like a mountain in Peru." And she's like, "Let's go on vacation." He's like, "Well, how? We have a kid. Like, we could leave him with your mom." And he's like, "Well, I have the dome, the work, this and that." And she's like, "Well, you keep on making excuses and excuses." And he's like, "Well, if you think I'm making excuses, then don't come watch the matches. You see how exhausted I am." He's like, "Our promotion's hanging by a thread. We need to make money." And he says we have to save money, but in secret, he's spending money
to make all this happen.
Yeah.
And she doesn't know some of this shit that's going down either. Hey, I think we forgot to also mention the last part there is fucking Bill's drunk ass showing up at Willie's place, and Willie has a pretty big, like, nice place, and like it looks like a pond that's in front of her house, and he's just like fucking in a little like floaty, just chilling, basically asking for her help. Moving into episode 4, cutting promos. After a house fire forces Jack and his family to move in with Carol and Ace, the two brothers put their differences aside and their heads together to generate DWL promo to further grow the league's fan base outside of Georgia. After exposing himself on an airplane, then verbally attacking his bosses in a drunken rant posted online, Wild Bill is fired from his scouting job and has nowhere else to go but back home to Duffy. Meanwhile, Crystal helps Bobby Pin find a new wrestling identity. I actually like that. Well, as we get into it, the Crystal and Bobby Pin's like evolution, how they're getting together. Let's see. My notes have the show opens up with Bill drunk on the plane and is definitely going to get fired from not the WWE, because that whole scene with the championship where it kind of looks like the women's WWE championship. I was like, oh, okay, this is definitely WWE. The fire started in his son's room. I have a feeling it was his son that kind of started the fire, but I have no proof.
No, it was the squirrels, because they bit into the wiring into the house.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. Okay. Rookie is asking for Crystal's help. Jack and Willie asking for more money from the sponsor. Willie trying to convince Ace to let Bill into the WWE, or not Ace, but Jack. Sorry, I'm gonna rephrase that right there. And he's definitely not into that idea. He thinks he's like basically a cancer, if you will, and he doesn't want to let him into the DWL. Ace is running into Bill at the bar. Bill convincing Ace to hustle pool. Then Bill teaches Ace to basically be an asshole, heel, like how they used to be in the 80s.
And his dad was one of the best ones.
Yeah.
And that's where he finds out his dad was also a heel. So he's like, okay,
it's connecting for him. Yeah. Bill is such a piece of shit for that. After he like does that whole scene at the bar. The Spade family dinner turns into fire and brimstone after the boy mentioned his grandfather in heaven. I kind of like that scene because it definitely, I'm pretty sure, happens out there. That felt like a real like situation. Crystal and the Rookie hang out. They might turn into a thing. Ace finally being a decent human being and a good uncle to the, I keep forgetting his name. What's the boy's name?
I forgot the kid's name.
I always call him the boy.
Just call him Little Jack.
Little Jack. There you go. Jack tells Ace that he can't be an actual dick in real life and not to end up like Bill. Bill finally gets fired. The promo at the gas station was a good idea. Ace trying to make things right with Crystal. That they're still trying to get that situation. Willie feels like she has to help Bill because they dated in their 20s. Willie fucked up Bill for saying some hurtful shit and got kicked out. That was funny. Ace walks in on Crystal and Bobby hanging out, and he assumes shit is going down between them, and he basically keys Bobby Pin's car. That was pretty fucked up.
But it's funny how Bobby Pin thinks it's like, oh, it's wrestling straps.
Yeah, he just accepts it. Like, he's such a fucking
he's a lovable guy.
He's a lovable character. Let's see. Ace, no, that one. Ace has PTSD from his dad's suicide. That's another thing that kind of they touched on in this episode for sure. His mom needs therapy, and her religious upbringing is basically has her stuck in that whatever situation where she's pissed, or just you can tell she's something's up. Ace bangs the bartender after assuming Crystal is dating Bobby. And then finally, Jack goes to Bill's hotel room to tell him to stay away from Ace. Sees how pathetic he is trying to get ice from the machine, and just basically goes home instead. And the episode basically ends with Bill on top of the fucking hotel. At the moment, I thought he was going to kill himself, but he ends up just howling at the moon and just saying that he's still here, he's still alive, and he's just drunk out of his mind. Crazy man.
And you see all the lights in the rooms go on.
Tell him to shut up. All right, anything that stood out for you in this episode here?
Well, for me, it's more like the dynamic with Crystal and Bobby Pins. It's funny how, because I guess Bobby Pins tells her, "Oh, can you come to my trailer?" And she's like, "Oh, I think he's gonna bust a move on me," but no, he's actually seeking for help, because in the last episode they kind of make fun of him because he says, "What's your theme music?" He's like, "Oh, it's me rapping." And Willie's like, "Can you hear it?" She's like, "I can't unhear it."
No,
So like
it sounded like generic shit for sure.
yeah, like so he wants to revamp himself. You know, he wants to give, I guess, a homage to the people from the 70s and the 50s around that area. So she's like, okay, and she tells him, "Oh, I thought you were gonna make a move on me." He's like, "You mean a dance move?" He's like that gullible
Yeah,
slash lovable guy that's, you know, like you could tell he was raised like in a at a farm with a Christian background. Like he has to be
100%.
nice and all that. Yeah,
It kind
and
of
then
gives off not Jehovah's Witnesses, but Mormon.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. Then the more time they spend together, she realizes actually he's actually a real good guy,
yeah,
and that he shouldn't change his persona. His him being himself is his persona. He's the American good guy.
yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, and then the whole thing with Ace and Jack, I guess they put differences aside because they're looking at one of Wild Bill's old promos from back in the, I would say, 50s. And it's funny
It's more
because
like a 60s,
like a
60s,
60s, it
70s. Yeah,
kind of reminded me like a promo from the movie Iron Claw.
yeah, definitely,
Yeah,
definitely.
like that. So it's funny, and then I guess Ace tells Jack, "Well, you're trying to act like my dad, and you're not my dad."
Ooh,
And that's where Jack's like, "You're right." And that's when they put their heads together, like, "Show me what you got."
yeah,
And Ace comes up with this whole promo and stuff that they do at a gas station where Crystal works at.
yeah,
And it's crazy because they do it. They fight in the parking inside the store. They fight in the parking lot. They fight inside a car wash. And at the end, um, Ace is like, "It's fun being a heel."
yeah. Like he gets it now.
Yep. And it's
Um,
cool. And it's cool how Jack tells Bill, tells Bobby Pins, "What's your character?" And he's like, "I'm just good old me." And Jack's like, "I like that."
yeah, he sees that it can work for sure.
Yep.
I like the promo that they did because it did feel like the 90s type of like what is it, ECW used to do that where they'd kind of just like show up at places. It
Yeah.
kind of reminded me of also when Stone Cold and
Booker T
Booker T got
at the
fucking
supermarket.
down at the supermarket. So I was like,
Yeah.
all right, I like it. It's pretty good.
Yeah. What
Let me
else? Let's
see
see.
here.
I also liked when what was it? So yeah, the whole thing with Willie, like she said, her and Bill have like history,
Yeah,
and then Bill's going down a spiral because he found out that he got fired.
yeah. He's
He's
just
going on the he's going on
self-destructing.
yep, and the things he tells her is kind of messed up.
Yeah.
Because
So,
yeah,
oh fuck yeah. Apparently, they had an abortion when they were together,
mm,
and he kind of mentions that like, oh, I wish I was here to pay for that abortion that you should have had, and basically calling that her daughter,
yeah,
saying that she should have been aborted, and she fucks
hmm
up after that.
yeah. She throws a
Um,
haymaker.
yeah, and he goes in to look like he was gonna punch her back, and she was just
Yeah,
sitting there, not flinching. And basically, Bill makes a comment about saying like, "Oh, that's why I liked you because you didn't flinch." And I was like,
yeah,
"Damn, that's some pretty fucked up thing." And
yeah,
definitely gives off that old school like a broken type of character wrestler
yeah,
from way back when.
yeah. And then I like how Willie's husband is like, "I'm not tough or wrestle, but I stand up for my wife."
Yeah,
And he has all his stuff outside. He's like, "You know what? You're not staying over here. The motel's down the road. That's
yeah.
perfect for you. Go over there."
And he basically is an adult. The
Yeah,
husband, he's
hmm
fucking nice to him when he had him over,
yeah,
and was like being a good host throughout the whole
yeah,
process. And even when he kicked him out, he did it in the most like straight
yeah.
up, there you go,
Respectful way. Yeah.
have at it.
hmm
And definitely is one of my other favorite characters for sure.
Yeah.
Crazy fucked up thing, like I said, that they kind of go in more with Ace's PTSD,
Yeah.
but not necessarily in the most healthiest way, because he's over here kind of like being in his feelings, assuming that something's going down with Crystal and Bobby
Yeah.
Pin. So he goes over to the bartender that was trying to hit on him,
Yeah.
and they basically end up hooking up, and he confesses this shit that he's going through to the
Yeah.
bartender, and she doesn't
And
know what to do with it. So she's like, all right, you want to go again? And he's like, yeah, might
yeah.
as well.
Yeah. And it's funny how after Bobby sees his car scratched up,
Yeah,
he tells that's where you realize he tells Crystal, we can't be seeing each other in public because they go out in public, and some
Right.
kids go up to Bobby and they want his
His
autograph,
autograph.
and that's where she realizes he's actually a real good dude
Yeah.
in real life and in wrestling. And Bobby tells her we can't be seen in public because you're my enemy's valet.
Yeah. No, yeah. That was a good point on that one. I think that's a definitely interesting thing that happens later on in the series. I think it's after at the next episode on this one is number 5 that gets a little interesting. But yeah. Trying to see if there was anything else that happened in the episode that we want to touch on other than fucking
like the whole thing with Ace's PTSD.
Mm.
He tells her mom that it's been more than a year since she passed away. I still hear that shot over and over. I have to sleep with music at night. He tells her, and then he also tells her that you don't smile anymore, but you haven't been smiling since before Dad took his life.
Yeah.
So there's something going on before that.
And then also Stacy basically tells her after like kind of barking at her to stop kind of throwing that fire and brimstone at her son. Like, if you need to talk, I'm fucking here. And she basically confesses that she wasn't allowed to drive herself anywhere.
Yeah.
And then after her husband died, Tom died, she basically had to relearn how to drive herself. And she still kind of doesn't know what to do.
Yeah.
And I was like, damn, that kind of puts you gives you a different idea of her character and how she's like dealing with that situation of having to relearn to be by herself and be independent.
Yeah. Oh, and then Stacy gets a job. She calls Jack to let her know that he got a job. She got a part-time. It's to help around the house because she thinks that they're struggling.
Yeah.
But they're not really struggling. It's just that we'll find out in the next episode that he does stuff for his promotion that she doesn't find out till like, oh, what the hell's going on?
Yeah. Yeah, he keeps he does some interesting shit. We'll be talking about that situation on the next episode. But yeah, definitely excited to see the rest of the series here. I know this is your first time around, and I remember you told me that you saw it like already through 2 to 3 times like over.
Yeah.
Hell yeah. Every time I remember the series, I'm like, damn, dude, I hope fucking Netflix does it. They have to, man. Yeah. I just hope people keep watching it.
I remember from the first episode, episode 3, I like how, you know how people the camera kind of catches wrestlers saying, oh, we're going to do this next?
Yeah.
At the end of the match, CM Punk's character and CM Punk messes up his knee. He's like, oh, I blew up my knee. Okay, we're going for the big finish, man. Yeah. I like that whole dynamic, even though people don't like it, but wrestlers in real WWE, they get hurt in the middle of matches. They have to do an audible.
Yeah.
Yeah, to us, it still feels like it's real, but when we see that, we're like, oh, it takes us out of the moment, but it's for their benefit too.
No, 100%. Definitely like those like little, I guess, Easter eggs that they keep putting into the show during the matches and like you said, outside the ring, how they have to kayfabe, and they makes it more of a real world that they're building there. Yeah, definitely excited for the next episode. Josh, where can they find you on the social?
On Instagram at Sith_Josh_A18. Even though I have TikTok, but I really don't post there. So
hell yeah. You can find the podcast at Not So Intellectual Podcast on YouTube, Instagram, and that's basically it. You can find me everywhere else under NSI Rick. You can find me on the Twitch, Kick, on YouTube as well. And yeah, hope you guys tune in for the next episode. We'll be back soon. Till then, see you guys later. Bye.
Bye, guys.
Be sure to follow me on all the social platforms at NSIRick. And you can also email the show at notsointellectualpod@gmail.com. See you next time.